Howdy, folks. I'm Charles, the corporate cockatoo.
I'm Amber.
And here's some very interesting business meetings. It's Reddit. It's actually Reddit. But that's what cockatoos do for business meetings. They do Reddit. Oh, and also, I do have an announcement. In case people didn't make it to tea time yesterday, yesterday's episode was April Fool's. All right, folks, our first and only letter on this Sunday morning special is titled, Am I a Jerk for Kicking My Boyfriend Out When He Has Nowhere Else to Go? I'm a 21-year-old female, and I started seeing James, a 24-year-old male, 2 months ago. 2 months ago. Things started off really well, and we have a lot of similar interests, and he seems pretty normal. He talked about his mom a lot, but she's also the only family he has, so I didn't really think anything of it. Well, about a week after our third date, he shows up on my doorstep in the middle of the day. He was carrying a trash bag full of clothes. I was surprised and confused, especially because I didn't remember telling him where I lived. Looking back, that probably should have been a red flag. At the time, I assumed I must have told him and just forgotten about it. Well, I opened up the door and James came in, asking which room is his and where he should put his stuff. I was still standing there, dumbstruck, with the door open because we had never discussed moving in with me. We'd only known each other for a month. I asked him what he was doing, and he looked at me confused. He told me that he's sure that he must have mentioned this, but his mom got evicted. She's staying with family friend who doesn't like James. He claims that he asked to stay with me for a while, and I told him that it was fine. Those are conversations you don't remember. I asked if his family had a history of hallucinations because we definitely didn't have that conversation. James just looked genuinely shocked. We went back and forth, and he swore that he talked to me about this in the end. He admitted that sometimes he has very realistic dreams and must have mistook it for reality. He said that he must have dreamt that he asked me, and just assumed that it had really happened. I thought this was super weird, but since I did like him, and he didn't have anywhere else to go, I told him that he could move in with me for a few weeks until he figured out something more permanent. James moved into my guest bedroom, and we both had our own jobs with different schedules, so most days we weren't even home at the same times. We had dinner together when we could. Once in a while, James would reference an event that hadn't happened, but they were small things, and we always laughed about it. Well, one day, I asked him to go get groceries because I knew he had the day off, and he said that this was fine, and asked me to leave my debit card on the counter for him. Why would I leave you my card? I asked. That started a huge argument over whether he should have to pay for anything since this wasn't his house. He stormed out and I left for work. While I was there, I got a call from my landlord. James's half of the rent for the month had never been turned in. I decided to do some digging, and I discovered that he didn't have a job and that his mom hadn't been evicted, but she had kicked him out. That night, when he came home, I told him to leave. He called me heartless because he had nowhere else to go, and said that he had only lied because he knew I would need convincing. I put my foot down, but afterwards, my friends told me that I shouldn't have done it. He would be homeless now because of me, they said. So am I the jerk? All right, folks. What do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. This guy has lied and manipulated you, OP. After your third date, he shows up on your doorstep with a bag of clothes saying, oh yeah, you totally agreed to this. I'm 100% sure of it. I don't know if I'm guessing it's some kind of gaslighting technique to try and make you think you really agreed to it. But even if it is some weird vivid dream, that doesn't bode well if he's treating his dreams as more real than talking to you.
Yeah, get new friends first. Get a new boyfriend. Second, first get a new boyfriend, get new friends, and don't listen to them because they are terrible at giving advice. Who tells you, you shouldn't have made this guy homeless, who literally lied to you to get you to let him into your house, doesn't pay rent, doesn't have a job? That means that you two's schedule not lining up was completely because he didn't want to spend that time with you.
Or he's pretending to have a job so that OP won't suspect anything, as if him not paying his rent money wouldn't somehow raise some red flags.
Oh, I dreamt that I paid my rent. That'll pay the bills. The landlord will surely accept that as payment due. Oh, well, since you dreamt it up, I'm sure you must have had the best of intentions on paying the bills, so we'll just let you continue to stay here for free. The guy sounds like he needs some massive therapy, and maybe he needs to, and if your friends are this concerned about him, then they need to take him in.
Yeah, any one of them could have stepped up and volunteered.
His mom got tired of his nonsense. This is why he got kicked out. He tried taking the situation and turning it into your problem. It isn't your problem, OP. This isn't a person. Ask yourself right now, knowing what you know about this person, would you want to spend the rest of your life with him? If the answer is no, then you did the right thing. You've been dating him for 2 months. You are not his keeper. You owe him nothing. You gave him a place to live for a month. You owe him nothing. That's my thoughts. Let me know if I'm being too harsh. So, Amber doesn't think so.
I don't think so. I think what he did is very manipulative, and he needs to get his act together.
Yeah, he really does. But not on your time, OP.
No.
So anyhow, take care and good luck. And happy whatever day says, not the jerk, but girl, the fact that you're here asking if you're the jerk for almost getting swindled by a scammer has me genuinely worried for you. And OP replies, the problem with being surrounded by people is that no matter how much you believe that you're in the right, hearing that you're wrong from all sides all the time eventually gets you. That's the part why I made the post. I needed an unbiased input so I could basically justify myself and that I'm not doing the wrong thing. So yeah, I mean, I think that that's an important thing to keep in mind is when everyone is telling you you're wrong, it sometimes can be really hard to understand why you're not wrong. All right, folks, it's tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some coffee flavored tea right here. And Amber, she has hopefully not another knock-knock joke. Please, not another knock-knock joke, Amber.
Now I want to go flip to the knock-knock section. No. Why can't chickens play baseball?
Oh, I mean, this is easy. I know exactly why chickens can't play baseball. Because chickens, much like their T-Rex ancestors, have very short arms, and they would make very poor batters and catchers. And that's why, because they just... Their arms are tiny. I mean, have you ever seen a baseball playing chicken? No. You have your answer.
Because they hit foul balls.
That one's actually better than I was expecting. But, I mean, that's... I've got coffee. Don't think about it too hard, Brian. Don't think about it too hard.
Yeah, these are kids' jokes, Brian.
All right, folks, that's all the time we have for this morning on this Sunday morning special. And as always, we know what makes it special. You make it special. And Amber makes it special.
And you make it special.
I make it hectic and frantic. Thanks so much for watching. Amber, I need some moral guidance. If you can believe it, after all that, I still don't have the moral guidance I need. Can you give me some moral guidance and make it involve at least one business savvy cockatoo?
If someone shows up on your doorstep with a bag of clothes, even if it's a business savvy cockatoo, and claiming you had a conversation that you definitely did not have, this is a big red flag. You probably should not let them move in. Also, cockatoos probably also need like cages and cleaning and stuff like that, so that might be a little more complicated.
You know, I mean, I think if you are to the point where you think a cockatoo is knocking on your door and think that they're business savvy, then there might be bigger issues at play at that point in time. So please, there may be something more going on there. Don't think it's just a vivid dream that you're remembering. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.